Hello, I'm Tony Higginson and today I'm in North Wales. We're planning on going sort of Anglesey way, but on the way here we saw the mountains and we thought, look at the snow on those peaks, they could make a great photograph. So we've done a detour to a place called Devil's Kitchen. I've been here before and I found a lovely little composition. I've got a stream, just a kind of babbling brook, leading me through to this wonderful mountain behind with a little bit of snow on the top. As is often the way, on the walk up, the light was just stunning. There was gorgeous dapple light shining through, illuminating the face of the mountains, and I thought, wow. By the time I got here and set up, the light was gone. And there's some pretty thick, heavy cloud setting now, so to be honest, I'm not that convinced we're going to get the light back now, which is a real shame because this composition just looks really, really nice. It'll still make a nice image. I'll probably have to turn it to black and white, but it'll never have the punch that it would have if I had that lovely light on the mountain. So it's a frustrating game, landscape photography, as you probably know yourself if you do it. You can try everything, but ultimately it's in the lap of the gods. You've just got to wait for the right things to happen. So this is what I'm looking at. That's the sky. That's what I need the light to shine through. It does look pretty thick, but there is a little bit of light in the distance, and every now and again we're just getting the odd highlight pop out. So I'm hoping maybe fortune's on my side and the light just appears. I only need it for 1 second just to appear and I'll get the shot. So if I don't get it, you'll be looking at a black and white. If the light appears, here it is. Hello, I'm just down from the Devil's Kitchen. You saw the black and white picture, the light never came. I gave it quite a while, gave it a good half hour. It just never came and it didn't look like it was coming. So we were walking home and you walk over this little bridge. My mate Chris is there waiting for me. And next to the bridge, there's some lovely falls. They really are lovely, these. And what I did is, I decided to move in and get some detail shots of the water working its way around the boulders. The kind of flow is perfect and the light is also perfect for this kind of shot. So I've taken some kind of detail stuff, fairly close in, a few wider ones, just really a mixed bag. I've sort of worked it for about half an hour, all different compositions, and this is the main area I was working on here. So I mainly focused on this sort of area here. And the reason I selected that area was because to me it had the most interest. It's got a large sloping boulder with water cascading off. It's got one just next to it sticking out that the water bounces off, and there's a little cascade next to it, a small one. So I can use all the different elements to create something interesting. And then when I finished, I got a cracker, and it's a portrait of my mate Chris, who I'm here with. He was on the far bank, perched like a little gnome, and I took a landscape shot with the waterfalls. I got him to stand still. It was sit still. It was an 8-second exposure because I had my 6-stop filter on. I think it's a cracking shot. You know, I do like to occasionally include people in the landscape, and I think that's going to be a really good image. So that's it for now. It started to rain, the mist and the rain and everything's coming in. Get some dinner and crack on to Anglesey, see what we can get. Hello. Prizes for guessing where I am. The answer, have you got it? There's your clue. South Stack Lighthouse on the southern point of Anglesey. I think it is, I presume it is anyway, it's called South Stack, although I don't really know that. Anyway, you might see my camera. Lighthouse, camera's pointing that way. Well, quite simply, the light's not that good on the lighthouse. It's very contrasted, the sky above it. It's not really doing much for me. But this way, I think it's looking fantastic. There's I think it's the RSPB lookout point. They've got their own building and it's quite nice. I'll show it you. There. So this is the building. Looks nice. But if you look just beyond it, look at that sky there. And that's moving into the scene. Wonderful cloud storms coming in. Really like that. And I spotted it about 5 minutes ago. I was further down there and I thought, oh, that's going to be a nice sky there. So I'll get myself in a position where there's a little bit of separation between the top of the building and the water line above it. Because where I was before, it was just jutting into the rocks, but I wanted that separation. So I've moved a bit higher up the slope. Probably only come up about, I don't know, 20 metres, something like that. But just coming up that little bit of elevation, it's just lifted and created that little bit of separation, which makes a big difference in a shot like that. My composition's dead straightforward. I've got a 0.6 soft grad on. I'm shooting on my 70 to 200. And I'm just waiting for that wonderful sort of cloud to move behind and see what happens, see if I get some drama. It's not quite as dramatic as it was when it was further away. That's always the way, isn't it? You know, you know, sometimes it gets better, sometimes it gets worse. Seems to be fading a bit, but something like this can just come back. Before you know it, it's mad drama. I mean, a bit of lightning would be lovely. That'd really make the shot, but that might be wishful thinking. But yeah, nice little shot. I thought I'd show you what I'm up to, and I'm just going to keep clicking away really, and then see what else I can find. I couldn't leave without capturing a shot of the lighthouse, of course. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my thought process. And this is, it's not exactly worked out as I planned, but it's worked out really nice. That cloud that I told you about that was moving through the image on the last shot, the clouds moved, the composition changed. It wasn't as good as I thought it could have been. However, I thought, well, it seems to be coming a bit more towards me as opposed to just across the scene, which means it's going to be moving towards the lighthouse. So I thought, let's find a new position so I can shoot the lighthouse, possibly with some drama behind. So we've come across to the other side, and there's a cracking little composition I've found. Really like it. All those rain clouds have basically dissipated now. They're gone. But the sky's got so much texture and detail in it, and everything's got that kind of softness, the light. It's just making a really nice image. I'll show you. Here's my camera, and that's what I'm shooting. Shooting the lighthouse there, with a nice sky above, with plenty of texture in it. So I'm shooting it in portrait orientation to include some of this nice foreground down here, which is nice. There's just little spots of a kind of red colour in the kind of heathery type stuff. It works really nicely. I've got 2 grads on. I don't normally use 2 grads, but there's a very definite bright patch of sky, so I'm stopping that down with a 0.9 hard grad, and then I've got a 0.6 soft, just gradding the whole image because I'm shifting down, and that sort of adds quite a strong vignette to the bottom of the image, like darkens it. So I'll just cancel that out with my 0.6. And the exposure's perfect. I've got the lovely histogram, everything's sharp front to back. I've just had a little bit of tilt, about 1 degree. And that's the shot. I'm just going to keep shooting away as we speak now. I'll just grab a shot, see how it's looking. Oh, beautiful. It's looking nice, this shot. If I was being picky, I'd like a little bit of side light on it, you know, just on the actual lighthouse, just to make it pop. But you know, what can you do? Beggars can't be choosers, as they say. And so that's that. I don't think we're going to be doing much more this evening. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting a sunset. So I think that'll be it for today. We're going to shoot tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning from a cracking little beach on Anglesey. I say cracking, it's a lovely place to just sit and see the waves, look at the rocks, but photographically, really struggle with it. This is the thing with landscape photography. You can go to the big iconic places, you know there's shots there, you know you got to here, this is the shot. If you look on Google Maps like Chris did to find this spot, we've parked up, we've walked here, and we're just checking it out. And I got here and I never took a photo for the first hour and a half. I just sat on a rock, just enjoying the landscape, chucking a few skimmers in the sea, and just seeing if I could get some inspiration, because nothing was really drawing me. I'll show you what I'm doing, well, where I am. It's here. It's a lovely beach. There's a big island there in the middle, and then there's like a sandbar that goes across from the beach to it. And I was just stuck for inspiration, really, as I'm thinking, what can I shoot? These rocks, they're kind of too big within the scene, and I couldn't get any motivation to take any pictures, which is unusual for me. To be fair, I've had this cold and I'm pretty tired, but I thought, you know, just sit and enjoy it. After about an hour and a half, some light appeared and the sea went a lovely sort of turquoise colour over the top of this sandbar, and I thought, oh, here's my opportunity. I set up quickly, I put my 70 to 200 on, put a polarizer on to pull that green out, and I used a 10 stopper to long expose it. I wanted to create like a minimal image, but quite a colourful, high key shot. I don't really know what it's going to look like. It looks okay on the back of camera, you can't really tell. So I'm hoping I've got something interesting, you know. I'm not interested in record shots. Following that, I did a portrait shot with a few rocks leading in, but the sky's pretty bland. The light's out now, and the magic was only there for about 3 or 4 minutes. And I think I got one with the bit of magic. So that'll be nice. I'm not sure where we're off to after this. I think we might be heading to Penmon, but we'll just have to wait and see. Before we decided to leave, we decided to walk up that island that I showed you in the previous little bit of film. So we've walked up the island, and the reason I'm doing this video, the shot I've taken, I'm not sure, I think it's pretty average, it's okay. But my friend Chris took a portrait of me taking the shot, and it shows you the ledge that I was standing on. It was safe enough, you know, there's plenty of space there, but it is precarious, you know, the drop is significant. If you make an error, oh, I'll get you out of the sun. If you make an error, it'll be your last. Unless you're a really strong swimmer, which I'm not. I'll just show you where it is now. I'm just sort of walking down, and it's down here. So you basically step down onto that little peninsula there, and I use that rock as my foreground, with sort of the cliffs out there as the rest of the interest. So nice little shot. But like I say, I think the shot of me shooting it's probably better by Chris, so I'll include that. And here it is. Hello. After the last location, I went and got some prawn mayonnaise sandwiches and some croissants. I'm very cultured, but then again, my regular subscribers already know that I'm a cultured guy. And we were deciding where to go, and it turned out Penmon, the light was just looking terrible. It was glary, very hazy, and we thought about going to Telica Lighthouse. Tide was wrong, so I said let's go back to the Devil's Kitchen. So I'm back where I was yesterday. I've been up to the top, photographed the sort of tarn, lake, whatever, at the top with some reflections. Didn't really have any light. It's not a great shot. I didn't even shoot any video up there, to be honest. If I go somewhere, take some shots and they're looking very average, I don't generally shoot any video. I know people don't want to see rubbish. You can shoot your own rubbish, and you don't need to come onto YouTube to see other people's rubbish. But we walked back down and I spotted this. It's lovely. It's kind of like I suppose you could call it a weir from this reservoir falling out. But with the way the flow at the moment and the way there's just a little bit of wind pushing it over, it's creating this lovely ripple. So I picked a composition. I'll just move my tripod to where I was. I couldn't leave it because it was in the water. I had it about here roughly. So I put my tripod there to photograph the ripples going through to the lovely distant fells over there with some nice spring light on them. And that's basically it. I thought, what did I use? 0.6 hard grad just to take that sky down, a circular polarizer and a 6-stop filter, which is giving me a few seconds, can't remember exactly how many, but enough just to sort of get that smoothness in the water, but still to maintain the detail, So lovely little shot to finish off. Probably a black and white, but you never know, it might be colour when I've edited it. I shot probably about 20 pictures here. Once I had the composition right, I shot about 20 shots, trying different amounts of polarization, turning the polarizer, using slightly different exposures, and shooting at times when there was sun and without sun, and it may be one that I'll blend together. But I'm sure I've got a nice image here. It's going to look good, quite arty, just my style, and that's the end of what's been a great trip. Thanks for joining me again. It's been a cracking couple of days. I was thinking about cancelling because I've not been feeling too well, like I said, but as always, I'm always glad when I get out there. I'd only have sat at home watching telly and watching YouTube, I love this area around Snowdon and then on to Anglesey. It's just superb for landscape photography. You got everything you want. You got water, you got the sea, you got lighthouses, mountains, everything. It's perfect. So thanks for joining me. If you're new and you're not one of my regular subscribers and you've enjoyed this, it helps me out if you could press that subscribe button and follow me. Or if not, it's great to just have you along and enjoying the British countryside with me. I'll see you soon.